So I want to talk about being nice. Now, I try very hard. I know I have a reputation, but I actually try very hard to be nice. I think it's important to be kind. I think it's important to accept that people are different from you. And that sometimes, even if you can't relate to people and you don't like them, that actually doesn't mean that they're bad people. It just means that they're different from you, and that's the world that you live in. I think being nice, though, it can lead you to causing a great deal of harm, and I'm referring to the statement that Caroline Lucas made yesterday. So, if your need to be nice leads you to see somebody else being harmed, that's not being nice, that's being a coward. When your need to be inclusive means that you will throw vulnerable people and put them in the way of harm and remove legal protections from them, that's not being nice. That's being a coward and facilitating deep harm. The Guardian and the cultures around the left have unleashed anti-Semitism, abuse of women, violence against women, to prevent them discussing systems that they claim to be the voices of. Because they identify as nice, and when people say to them, "I'd really like you not to use your considerable media and political power to damage lots of people all over the country," they don't think about those people. They think about their own self-image as nice. Caroline Lucas is worried about her image as nice. And she thinks it was nice to elevate a very messed up kid who clearly was displaying behaviour that indicated mental disorder, disturbing attitudes to women, disturbing risks posed to other people, and which actually indicated a very, very vulnerable young person. She thinks it was nice to elevate them to deputy leader of the party because they were trans and they fit in the current box that she wanted to be part of. She wanted to be trans inclusive, she spotted a trans person, she didn't actually give a fuck that Amy Challoner was a vulnerable kid who'd been in the looked after system with a very, very serious bunch of behaviours that indicated very serious vulnerability and risk to others. And they elevated Amy, and Amy was living in a terrible, terrible set of power dynamics. That I understand better than most, and which are not the kind of power dynamics the human psyche is supposed to be able to bear. And Amy Challoner was used by a very seriously dangerous, predatory, rapist and paedophile. And Amy's entire platform was about what that paedophile wanted. And Amy worked considerably during this period to promote his father, because you would. Because most of us would in that situation, because Amy is not the problem here, nor is the fact that Amy was trans. The problem here is that the Green Party exploited a vulnerable young person to decorate their self-image as nice. And they jumped on a bandwagon and ignored and facilitated direct harm to 50,000 women, and then tried to undermine safeguarding for all the children in a country of 64 million people. And in pursuit of being nice, they have caused immeasurable harm. And it's here you see why I know that good intentions cause more harm than bad, because when somebody's shown malice, there's been at least reflection on the power relations in the situation. They know they've been a twat. You know they've been a twat. Everybody knows the score. When you're dealing with people like Caroline Lucas, you're dealing with true psychopathy, because what you're talking about is a woman whose need to be nice will allow her to put children, women in the way of harm, and then she will attack those women as bigots and attack those children as bigots if they threaten her self-image. Because with Caroline Lucas, it's not about anything but her self-image that she projects to the public. I try really hard to treat people a certain way. I try to live my life by certain rules, and I don't veer from them. They're quite fixed. And I try not to cause harm. And if I find that my need to be nice is causing harm, I know which comes first. Being nice and being effective are not necessarily the same thing, and sometimes being effective is the best way to minimise harm. I have no time for people who will prioritise their need to be seen as nice when they will cause that much harm, because those people are dangerous as fuck.